Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports here with myself, Charlie. And before the video starts, please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. There has been some interesting news in the athletics world as recently as last week, although the story is very quickly developing and it's not a good look. Now, obviously, a lot of the track and field action this year has stopped. The indoor season hasn't yet begun until early doors next year. There has been some meets going on, but of course, I'm talking about Grand Slam track. And unfortunately, it's off-track issues, which has led to it filing for bankruptcy in order for to quote the directors and organisers, a restructuring. Now, of course, one of the main organisers and protagonists in this whole story is the legendary American runner Michael Johnson, who has been a founding member of Grand Slam Track and really promised a lot from the competition, promised a revolution in terms of what it would do for track and field athletics, or not track and field, sorry, because he infamously got rid of the field events, but what it would do for track athletics. The idea of it being a highly rewarded league style system was something that I think interested a lot of fans. However, unfortunately, things have gone wrong, and now a lot of athletes are owed quite a lot of money. For example, Josh Kerr, Britain's very own, is owed a figure roughly in the region of $271,000. There are other high-profile names as well. Sydney McLaughlin, the probably greatest 400-metre hurdler, or women's hurdler at least, of all time, is owed a significant fee. Gabby Thomas, I believe, as well, is owed a significant fee. It is quite a serious story that is emerging. I think for starters, it's a real shame because Johnson and I think others feel like this has happened due to a major investor pulling out in terms of the start of the season. As with all these sports leagues when they start, we've seen it in this country with the 100, we've seen it in other franchise-style competitions. You need big investors who are going to back you early doors. R360, for example, in rugby was looking at going down this route and promised that it had investors from all over the globe. Problem was that they couldn't get the players. The difference between that and Grand Slam track is they could get the athletes, they just didn't have the funding, and these massive prizes that they've promised them, now they cannot pay. I do fear for Johnson because, like I say, he's a man who's done punditry on the BBC for a long time. For a lot of British athletics fans like myself, he's been a staple of your TV coverage. And listen, when the man talks, you listen because he knows his stuff, very knowledgeable, and strikes me as a really good guy as well. And of course, I believe he's a cancer survivor. So again, legendary for that as well. And you've got to praise anyone who obviously overcomes that evil illness. Unfortunately, I do think his reputation may be on the line with this. I think it's a shame because I think the idea is there and something does need doing with track events to potentially get it in that stratosphere of other sports. The potential is there. We've seen it in recent years with Usain Bolt and Mo Farah, what can happen when athletes have star potential. But I'm not sure the way in which you do it. The US sports market is so hard to break into, so hard. And to try and do it with a brand new competition, it's not going to be easy. Now, whether you could take it down to or over to Europe to do it, I don't know. I certainly think over here would be interested in it in Britain because we are quite an athletic country. We do like our athletics. And I think potentially a team style system maybe where you could have a Team USA, see if you could get any of the major sportswear companies involved, like a Team Adidas, a Team USA, a Team Nike, a team, get teams, almost like an F1 scenario where you have teams that could take part week in, week out. I don't know. That was potentially what R360 were looking at doing. That could potentially work for athletics and have a draft system, I guess, that could work. I'm just pitching ideas here. But the main thing is that something serious needs to be done. I do worry, like I say, for Johnson. I worry for the athletes as well. What are they going to do? How are they going to get this money back if they're owed it? If they've relied on that money, then they could be in some serious trouble. So it's a story that's developing very quickly and is not a good look. And it's a real shame. So I say, Michael Johnson, absolute legend, but stuck his neck on the line with this one. I think as well the omission of field events was not a great move when you look at now who the stars are of athletics, i.e. Mondo Duplantis. You look at what he's done, and to miss out on him was potentially a massive miss. Who knows? Anyways, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. I do love my athletics, so please, there will be more to come when the season starts. As always, have a great day.